And now let's come to the topic of today, all right? Because it's 6:22 in the afternoon here in France, next to Paris. I'm not really in Paris, very close. And let's talk about this topic because as you saw, I wrote watch out. And the watch out is very important because the watch out, it's to warn you again about something. Now, we're going to talk Lester. I visited the Clay Lab at the end last summit. It's a great facility. Wow, that's great, Lester. Thank you for your comment because I need people like you that if you already saw, you can, you can comment and give us, a better feeling. It's tough working on clay alone and without any supporting instrument. Yes, only striker. That's why I say that IED, especially for those students that do bachelor and they start learning how to work with clay, just like it was for me when I was at Art Center in Pasadena, it's very important to have a good instructor. And the instructor that there is in IED, I know because it's an ex-colleague of mine from Fiat Design Center. So you are in good hands there. I know that. All right, so the watch out is about car design career. Now, I will make this topic, I will describe the situation in a very generic way. Of course, I will not give you names, I will not give you references of people, etc. But the only thing I can tell you that this thing happened twice to two of my ex-colleagues, one in Fiat, so many years ago, and one in those days, okay, Preston Moore. No, I don't know Preston Moore. I'm sorry, Isaac, I don't. And he's going to be our clay instructor. Okay, great. That's great. Cool. So, the fact that this thing it's happening several times, this happening, this action, let's call it as an action, it made me think that I should talk about this because it's important to warn you before you decide something for your design career, okay? So, I give you the context, okay? You are a young designer, all right? You get your dream job in a very good design center. We're talking about really top design center, okay? Not small car design studios. So you have a big company on your shoulder that gives you the good contact, the good contract. You have everything you need in terms of quality, you have a beautiful office, great projects. Thank you for the reply. I'm so excited to go to you. Yes, Kartik, you will be happy. You will see. You'll be happy. Some online students I had in the recent past were people from IED that needed just to refresh a little bit their sketching, and they also we talked about the school, and the news are positive. So you are a designer, you have great colleagues, and of course you are very happy because the best way to start to be a car designer is this one, to be honest. It's true that I always say, when you're a car designer and you get your first job, any job is good because you learn. It's your experience time. You have 3, 4, 5 years to learn everything. And even if you are not well paid, who cares? Because the payment, the gain, the career is something that you build up. And that part will be for later. That's normal. At the same time, if you get into a big group like Stellantis, Renault Group, Toyota, Geely Group with Volvo and other big companies and design studios, it's always exciting because you know that you get into an environment that it's high quality everywhere. And also your colleagues are really good quality. Therefore, you have a good, exciting competition that helps you even to improve. Of course, to improve. You have good references, to confront yourself. So you work 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You do a couple of projects that go really well. And maybe you do a project and your design goes on that project, even if you are not the main designer, but your concept has been chosen, and therefore it's great for you, because the company will be, will repay you back with a good price. I don't know, there are so many ways, augmentation of your salary and stuff like that, so it's good. And then by magic, because you are a good designer, there is an opportunity to send a couple of designers in another design studio abroad, on the other side of the world, like for example, I don't know, Japan, because the company has a design center in Japan, or in China, like for example, it happened to me with China 3 years ago. And therefore you become an expatriate, designer, which means that you are privileged, because you make a beautiful experience in another country, in another culture. Maybe you learn a little bit of a new language, you learn about a new culture, a new design studio, new colleagues, you meet new people, new managers, and this can only help you to grow as a designer, as a human being, but also the experience. And it is an international experience, which is great. So you stay there 2 years. After those 2 years, the company says, okay, now you come back. You come back. And one thing that you have to understand, this is in general, it does not mean that you must go on your career, improve your career simply because you had that foreign car design studio company experience of 2 years. That one is intended by the company, the main company, has a step in your career, and your career is evaluated in 10 years, 15 years, in a company. There are all sort of steps to take you up there if you deserve, okay, of course. So, can be a test, can be a way of giving trust and not being deceived by you, of course. You work well, therefore everybody's happy. So you come back, and maybe you thought, okay, now I'll become a design manager. It's not happening. You come back as maybe an expert designer, junior, senior designer. They will give you that type of role. Of course, you come back with a little bit of extra money, because 2 years in a foreign country, there are lots of economical advantages that repay you, of course, the fact that you are away from your family for 2 years, or you have to bring your family over there if you have kids and wife and stuff. Now, this fact that you are coming back and on your career nothing is happening, it's not negative. It's just a step, as I said. This means that you have still years or a period of time to prove to everybody that you really made an extra step, thanks also to that type of experience. And therefore, on the next projects on which you work again in the main house, you show that you are really stronger, better. And when I say stronger, better, it's not only on the creative point of view, it's also on the managerial point of view, so human point of view. How good you are in listening rather than speaking, how good you are in putting people together or work with people, how good you are in strategically, in understanding faster how to conduct a new project, or the type of advices you can give for the new project. So how beneficial, how positive you are within, that community. And of course, all this means that you come back with new boss, new colleagues, new organization. Even if it's the same studio where you were before, you will not go in the old design studio. You will be moved to another one. So all this, it's part of steps. Now, the big mistake, and that's why I say watch out. The big mistake sometimes some people do, very rare, but this happens, is that the people think they feel sad, very sad. They feel like the company doesn't care for them. They just were used by the company. You know, they needed me there, they put me there, and after when I came back, they don't give a, you know, nothing for me. It's not true. It might be you don't know, but you might be under observation, so that maybe there is a plan on you. But what happens is that some of those people suddenly start getting into a negative mood psychologically, and even if their work is remarkable, it's really good, and everybody's happy, they decide to quit the company. And the worst thing is that in those cases, the one I know personally, both cases, those people quit without having already a second job option somewhere else. In general, you know, I also changed from Fiat to Renault. I didn't say to Fiat, I go away, and then I say, I hope I can find someone else. No, it was prepared. There was an opportunity, the opportunity was real, and when it became real 100%, I went to Fiat and said, I'm sorry guys, I'm going away. Because you want to make sure that in an environment, in a field like car design, which is very specific, very difficult to get in, very difficult to get out and getting again, you don't want to find yourself without your back covered. So those people decided that I'm very good. I know that I can do something better outside this company that is only using me. Basically, very roughly, this is the thought that was going under their mind. So what happens? The company says, "Oh, we are very sorry you're going away, but if it's your choice, you give your resignation letter, you go." So the guy gets out, and then he discovers a new world. Because when you are a designer, also an independent design, okay, like consultancy, and you say, well, you know, I'm gonna take few months to understand the market, what I can do, the cooperation I can do, because my portfolio is really strong, which is good. Portfolio is great. I have the experience. I work in a big company. A lot of people will be very interested in what I do. Yeah, that's true. But the fact that people are interested does not mean that they are waiting to hire you. So what happens is that you start getting jobs, okay, that can be very interesting, but those jobs are only a 3 months job, 6 months job, and then that client somehow decides that the next steps, they won't give it to you, will give to someone else, or they do on their own to save money, and therefore they don't hire you. The only thing that they do is they ask you maybe some creative sketching, or maybe to follow a part or some little thing, or a part of an interior. You know, this can happen. Or today with with cameras and smart working, you can work for the Chinese people, you know, staying here in Europe with no problem. Maybe you do only twice a trip to go. Ciao Al Rubel, Mohammed, how are you? Welcome back. So then more time goes by, and those people realize that it's getting difficult. And their age, because the age factor is important, their age, it's not 20 years old like you guys, they're all young out there. And it's not, of course, yet my age, which is almost at the end of the career. It's right in the middle. Because they have experience, they are 40, 45. So when you have to hire somebody of that age, another company, you cannot hire this person as a designer. Even if you are a super expert designer, you have to hire this person as a design manager or lead designer, which means it's already a contract that is more expensive. And in order to hire a new manager, it means that in your design center, there is a spot as a manager that is free. Somebody that left. Or somebody somehow that you say, you know what, if you go and work for someone else, it's better because we don't want you anymore. And the other guy understands and finds another job somewhere else. But those type of jobs at this level, management level, are not very easy to find. Because, as I repeat, as I said before, competition is very high. The good managers that are in good companies, they in general don't leave. They leave only if there is another company that talks to them and say, hey, we saw that project, we know that you worked on that project, we saw the pictures, I don't know, on auto design, we saw on internet all the story, we really love the job that has been done, we are very much interested in your philosophy, what you think. So people come, sideways, in secret, and then of course you start talking and to check the ground, to sound the ground, and maybe they will leave. But if that's the case, they will leave because they get 30% more or 20% more on their contract. It's a great career move. But if it's not happening, of course, managers, good managers, live very well in the company for which they work. There's no reason to go away. So it's more difficult that those spots become free. And what happens? That those people that left, they hang in there in sort of a limbo without really knowing from which road, attack again the car design world to get into the system again. So that's the thing. That's why I say watch out. Watch out is when you want to make a career move, you have to plan the career move. You have to make that career move with a strategy. And that's basically what everybody does. For example, let's say that it's 15 years you are in a company, or 6 years, okay? You are a junior designer that becomes a designer, 5 years of experience, okay? And after 5 years, you say, thank you very much, company X, but I want to go into the company Zeta, okay, or ABC, because that country is better, that company is better, I'm more ambitious, be ambitious, remember? And that's my real target. So after 5 years, you have a new portfolio, some projects that you can show, you work more, so you have new work to do as a professional, not as a student. Your CV is much better, and you give it a shot. You try. So what do? You get in contact because you are young. People don't know you well. Maybe they are looking for, or maybe you read on LinkedIn or somewhere else they were looking for people. So with lots of discretion, in secrecy, you contact, you get an interview. And sometimes goes well, and sometimes it doesn't work. Even if they say, you know what, your stuff is really good, we really like it. But you don't know what's going on in that company. And you don't know if getting you in that company might create some conflicts within that design team because of the way you are, the way, how can I say it? The things you could do in that company, in terms of job, responsibility. So, ciao Pina, welcome back, bentornata, grazie per essere qua. So, basically, the thing is that the fact that you can take an interview, it does not mean 100% because you have a very good CV, a very good portfolio, the 5 years of experience, the great school in the background, and everything. that you will get that job. In general, believe me, because I went through that when I was at Fiat, it takes 3-4 interviews before you can get the right one that is really matching, for which you have almost 100% possibility to get hired. And you can understand that 4-5 interviews, it's not in 1 month, maybe 3 years, 4 years. Ciao Francisco, ¿cómo estás? Xavier González Romo. Francisco, ho olvidato, Mexico, Brazil o Colombia o Venezuela. Ho olvidato. So, coming back to our topic, you understand that you have to plan it. So when I say watch out, plan it. It's good to change. I mean, my friends that tried, I think they should have done it, but not in that way. You have to plan it. Today, Ecuador, scusa, disculpe, Ecuador. Hey Gabriel, ciao, ¿cómo va? Dal Chile, con amor, todo bien. So you have to plan it, and how you do it today is very easy. It's a lot easier than my time, because today it's enough to be on LinkedIn. And on LinkedIn, what do you have? You have companies that directly they put their posts on their page and say, we are looking for people. That's the contact, you know. Grazie Francisco. That's the contact, that's the email of the HR. Send all your information there, and we make the selection. If you will be picked up, we will contact you back. Or today we have headhunters also on LinkedIn, but also on Facebook, on Instagram. They are hidden, you know, between all the people and the profiles, but they are there. They look, you know, and they look. There is something I'm checking. Okay. I think that you will see some of in 40 seconds there will be publicity, advertising going on. Okay. YouTube is changing, so well, you know, if some advertising goes by, I get some sense. That's good to support the channel. Okay. All right. So I hope that what I talked to you about today was useful to make you think, you know, because once you get out of school and you will start working, there will be a moment in your life as a professional designer that you will have to work and cope with this thing, you know. So that's important. That's why it is important. Do you have any questions about this topic? First of all, did you like the topic? Because maybe sometimes I talk to you about things that you are not interested in. So I would like to use this moment, few minutes, so that you can, like a poll, you know. Tell me if you like the subject of today, because it helps me to prepare the next subjects to talk in our design talk, okay? And then, of course, I will be preparing a new video tutorial for everybody. Don't worry, it will not be only members, okay? But to those that are members, I remember there is a new video ready for you since 48 hours. Go and check it out, only for members, sorry. Thank you, Francisco. So, Francisco le gusta el topic muy bien. Raja, sir, I was just wondering, how do we get to know about all the design competition conducted online with the help of internet? Well, I discovered, to be honest, by accident, because I am on their pages. So whether I am on Instagram or on LinkedIn, I check those pages, and I saw the post and the information. But one thing I can suggest to all of you, you should go and check on Facebook, Instagram, and please also LinkedIn. It's very important. And that might come in far future. Yeah, exactly, only striker. That's why I try to, to make prevention, sort of, like a doctor, the car design doctor. So you have to go and follow all those pages. It's your interest, okay? It is your interest. And then, yes, car design news, automotive design news. There are those websites that are always excellent, and they all give all sort of information about new jobs, new stuff coming out, about schools and real jobs. So even internships out there. So this is what I can suggest you to do. Okay? Any other question, my friends? Okay, so this weekend, don't forget, we have the motorbike GP, okay? Go Grand Prix in France. Beautiful, beautiful racetrack, okay? And then for those that follow also the Formula American Indy, the Formula One, the American Formula One, there will be also Indianapolis. Great Indianapolis. We'll see what happens. Last weekend was our Formula One Grand Prix, which was great for my beloved Alonso. Okay, and next week I think there will be a new Formula One. Okay, will be Italy, Emilia Romagna. It's a very nice circuit, a very nice racetrack there. That one too, very fast. Okay, good. Kartik, what is the best car design school in the world for masters? For masters. Art Center, CCA. I give you following my taste, okay? It's not a real, how can I say, championship, list. Imola, exactly, Imola. I would say Art Center, CCS, Pforzheim School in Germany, in Pforzheim, for master. Then you have IED, IAAD. No, you have also Umeå University in Sweden. After Pforzheim, let's put Umeå, okay, in Sweden. Excellent. With a great lab facility. Incredible. Very beautiful model shop, lab, also computer lab. They are really, really high in technology, in tooling, in everything. So I would say those schools, yeah. There is always a big difference, not a big difference, but there is always a difference between what's happening in bachelor and master programs and teaching programs in USA or at Pforzheim and Umeå, and then all the other schools. And for bachelor, which is the best? Rajat, for me, bachelor, the best one, there are two schools. My school, Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, but it's also extremely expensive, or CCS in Detroit. If I had the money and I had a son that wants to go into car design bachelor and has the talent, of course, then I would invest in one of those two schools if I had the money. So, because for me, those are the best. But then you have also other schools, as you guys know. I often talk about the other schools that are very, very good also, because they do a great job in improving, in improving the facilities in the design school, the teaching staff, team. So I would say that Art Center CCS is more of philosophy, teaching philosophy, history, because they have many years of experience on their backs and at a very high level. NID in India, it's a very good school. It's rather, until few years ago, was rather an industrial design school. I know that now it's opening also to transportation design masters. I might be wrong. The guy that can help you about NID is Svarup Roy, okay, that is working for us in India, in Chennai, at Renault India in Chennai. Svarup. But it's completely different from what Art Center, CCS, Pforzheim are doing. Also, the Italian schools or the French schools, like Strat College, for example. So maybe more Strat College Bangalore, I would say. In India, I would probably try more Strat College in Bangalore. Yeah. Yeah, NID, it's only transportation design in masters. Yes. Yeah. Svarup told me. Okay, so I think we are done. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for telling me that you like the topic of today. I wish you an excellent weekend, and we will meet again next week at the same time, 6 p.m. This is going to be our new time, because I know that it's a little bit better for people that are from US, that side of the world. For India, it's great, and also Europe is better. Okay. I come from Bangalore. Yeah, Rajat. Therefore, for you, it's very easy. If you're in Bangalore, go and check the school. Maybe you did already, but next time you can talk to us about that. But anyway, the head of the school, it's a French guy, designer, and I know him very well. He's a very good guy. And also Mandar Kale, that is there also, is somebody that I know well. Those are people that know what they're doing. I don't know all the teachers, to be honest, but I know that this school is quite new in India, but it's working really hard to get to the right level. It's not easy when you start from zero, because it's a French school that comes to India. Now I think it's that 5th or 6th years they are there. Okay, thank you very much. Ciao.